I thought I would show everyone how I mounted my router lift. It's a Jessem router lift, and I wanted to show how I mounted it in this Kreg tabletop. What I did was took hardwood pieces here. In this case it's Osage orange that I had, and I cut the pieces to fit in the opening, and they're the same thickness as the tabletop underneath. They're flush underneath, and to make it, to put it in there the right depth here, I just milled these the right thickness to start with. I'm not sure how thick they are. You see here what they came out to be. It looks approximately 3/4 of an inch, but I'm not sure. A little less than 3/4 of an inch. And yeah, but I made it. I put a piece of wood underneath the tabletop and then pushed these down until they sat flush with the bottom of the table, and made sure I milled them the right thickness so there was plenty of room for this top thickness up here, so it was slightly below the surface. Anyway, I cut all the pieces and glued them in one at a time, all 4 of them. And then I made these little corner braces to strengthen it. And I did put some nut certs down in there for those 4 bolts to hold the router in. You probably don't need it, but because you can't tighten them anyway, you just gotta barely snug them down. And there's how I made the dust collection on the router. It's just a piece of 1/2 inch plywood. It's made in pieces. It's the only way I could put it in there, is a piece at a time. So you cut it and slide it all in there around all these pieces here for the router. And it's got, I don't know, not very thick. It's just a thin piece of wood that I made to make a top on it. And the dust connection, I'm sorry, is over here on the end. There's just room for it to go in there. I had to notch a little place here in the framework I made for that to clear. And if you want to look down inside the cabinet here, you can see there's the dust port where it goes out the back into the vacuum, and the plug-in for the cord comes through that hole there. And you can see that the 2 drawers, they fasten, they open pretty much, or close, I mean, pretty much against the opening of the router in there. So when they're closed, it's pretty much closed up in there. It's hard to do a video on this. Not much room here. I had to take the router out because it doesn't sit quite square with the top. I need to loosen this clamp that holds the router in there and tip it just slightly. The long straight router bit is slightly not standing straight up and down with the top here. I didn't think about that when I put it in there. Check that with a square, so I'll do it now. Anyway, that's how I mounted it. It's a little bit extra work, but it makes it really nice. Now the adjusting screws come up against this hard wood. Works great. Now my particular top, I had to take out one adjusting screw, this one right here, because it was high. That plate's slightly warped up in the air right there. But it's a simple cure. I just put a drywall screw, ground the head a little smaller, countersunk the top up here a little, and put that drywall screw in there and turn it until it's flush with the tabletop. And that worked. You can see the hole there where I had it in there. Went right there. Anyway, that's how it all goes together. The whole thing works very nicely. And see there's a little chip in there. How could you get that out of there? There it is. I was heading toward the vacuum. That's the first time I've ever noticed anything stuck in there. I think I could almost get by with a little bit less space here. Probably a piece of 3/8 would do it. It doesn't take too much room to suck the dust out to that way. Anyway, I hope that helps for people that wondered how I put it in the Kreg top. Well, that's it for now. See you later. Bye.